Alright, we're on a job here now. Beautiful view, but customer called, has a gutter guard up there, and it's just all clogged up. Water's just overflowing it. So I'm just getting here now, put up the ladder, up there and check it out. You know, you can see the debris right in this area. We got a lot of water coming down. You can see it's been jammed on there for a while. This gutter guard in particular on here is one of the micro mesh guards. Looks like leaf filter, but any of the micro guards, you can see how the debris just kind of build up on, there's two different main types of micro guards. You got one that sits kind of flat, a little bit of an angle built in, then you have one that slips under the shingle. And they both, there's a disadvantage with each. The one that lays flat has a tendency to hold more debris, and the one that's on an angle has a tendency to lose a lot of water. Because you see the size of this roof up here? This is huge. This water comes flying down here during a heavy rain. It's just overshooting this gutter with it being down or on an angle. It's overshooting. You can see this has been up there for years because there's all mold all built into this. I gotta see if I can even get this off. It's kind of, it's going to take a little bit, but I should be able to get it. It's kind of sticking in there. As you can see, it's, there we go. See, it's starting to break off. But that's basically the problem you'll have with any of these, you know. Now, it's not that I don't recommend the guard or this type, actually, the micros I don't really recommend with any gutter guard. Just be aware of that. It doesn't matter what they tell you. Every gutter guard will need to be serviced here and there. I recommend, if you ever get a system like this, clean it out spring and fall still. And then it's like, well, why get the gutter guard? Without the gutter guard living where this customer lives, he'd be cleaning these gutters every other week. And they just constantly would be clogged. So the gutter guard has an advantage. If you clean it out spring and fall, just basically blowing off the roof area and the gutter guard, if you blow that off spring and fall, you can get a 98 to 100% flow rate. But the reason why I don't recommend the micro guards is because eventually that filter will clog. In certain sections, it's just going to clog, and the only way to clean that really is going to be to replace it, the screen, or power wash it. Sometimes that'll get it clean because the dirt just kind of gets in those little grooves over time, the mud, I should say. But I still do recommend having some type of a guard if you're living in this, if you're living in an area like this where there's a lot of trees. I definitely recommend an aluminum. The disadvantage with this is that it is plastic. It does have a stainless steel mesh, but like I said, once I clean this all off, he's probably still going to have a little bit of overflow, and the only way to get rid of that would be to power wash it, to really clean that micro guard off or replace it. So that's one of the biggest problems, and you can see it's mainly, and one of the other things with a gutter guard that most of the companies don't tell you is that there really isn't a gutter guard for valleys. You know, like if you see over there, I don't know if you can see that in that picture, but that's a valley. It's holding debris. And there's a couple more around the house where the debris just build up in the valley. There's not much you can do with the valleys because they clog. You got to clean them. So the conclusion of this is that if you do get the guard, keep in mind you still will have to clean it. If you don't, you'll end up with more problems than you had in the beginning. Because I see that all the time. I go to customers' homes, they're like, oh, I don't like gutter guards. Because they were sold a guard, they thought they'd never have to clean. Just like anything, it will have to be maintained, some more than others. This one I definitely recommend at least at the minimum once a year, but I would recommend spring and fall. And every 3 to 5 years, I'd have it power washed to keep it clean, keep the grooves open, keep everything flowing. So, but if you're looking at guards, you're going to have a lot of choices. And another thing, I don't really recommend any guard that goes under the roof shingle. I recommend you get a guard that just goes onto the gutter itself. And I highly recommend that it's made out of aluminum. Something that's going to last just like the gutter. So that's basically it. Any questions, give us a call or shoot us an email at service@everythinggutter.com.